Hey, kiddos, let's talk about the big lie. And we've all believed it, or most of us have anyway. There were a few scientists back in the early 60s, late 50s that didn't buy it, and they kind of lost their jobs. But we all bought it, hook, line, and sinker. It, the people, the government, the FDA, and the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry has had a heyday with this because all they have to do is make a pill and tell you that it works. And of course, the supplement industry, let's not forget them because they do the same thing, except that they don't even have phony science behind it. Anyway, so okay, I know there are people out there who use supplements. Don't get mad at me. I assume that you are being very careful about what it is that you're putting in your mouth or however you ingest it. All right. So we have been taught that the reason we gain or lose weight has something to do with calories. Now, uh, calories are a measure of heat. And we used to believe that when we exercised, because we sweat and get hot, that we were burning the calories. This is the concept a lot of people have because they're burning the calories that's making heat, and the weight is going away in terms of heat, that we are creating heat with calories. The whole thing is kind of artificial. Now, there is a thing about overeating, and that can be expressed in terms of calories. There's also a thing of undereating, and that can be expressed in terms of calories. I once fired a client because she absolutely refused to eat more than 600 calories a day. She wasn't listening to me. She was hoping that the hypnosis would magically make her body do something. And of course, it doesn't work that way, especially when you're doing something counterproductive to your body healing. When you are damaging your body by not getting the proper nutrition, how do you expect it to heal? And I fired her. I listen, and when I fire a client, I prorate a refund. It's like I'm not working with you. And yeah, it's rejection, I suppose, but it's like it's not going to work out well. So anyway, and why? Give them their money back and let them do whatever they want. Anyway, so we've been told it's calories and calories in, calories out. Now, if you have ever gone to a gym and got on an elliptical or a treadmill that told you how many calories you burned in that exercise period, you have to put in your weight uh, and then it tells you after sweating your ass off, excuse me, sweating your tuchus off for, a half an hour and having other people mad because you're only supposed to be on there 20 minutes or whatever, um, that you burned like 100 calories and you had more than that in two slices of toast or your bagel with cream cheese. And I had a friend, tell you a little story. Back in the 80s, bran muffins, because they were high fiber, were again air quotes around high fiber, because they had high fiber. They're supposed to be good for you. And I had a friend. We were living in New York, and we would plan to have lunch together when we could. And I would go into she worked at a law firm. She was the receptionist at a law firm. She really wanted to be a stand-up comic, but she needed money to pay her rent. And so I would go in and And so one day I walked in and she said, she was angry. You could tell that she was not in a good mood, but she would never show this to the lawyers. But she showed it to me. She said, "Do you know how many calories are in a bran muffin?" And I had no idea. I had no idea. She said 800 calories because of the sugar. And the sugar, they were already getting fat free, so that they were adding more sugar in the form of like applesauce and things. When these bakeries made these things, there were all these recipes for, fat free baked goods. And it's like she said, because she said she would, when she gets up in the morning, she stops at the gym. She does like a half an hour on the treadmill, then she gets ready for work. She goes to work, and the treadmill probably saved her 100 calorie, burned 100 calories, and at the end of the day, she was 700 calories in debt, and she couldn't. She's like really angry because she wasn't losing weight. But you know what? It wasn't the calories that were causing her to gain weight. It was the carbohydrates, because her body can only, your body can handle only so much. And so, in terms of high glucose causing foods, I'm going to tell you, there are people in this industry. And when I say this industry, I mean the sane one, where we're going reduced carbs and proper protein, that will tell you you don't need carbohydrates at all, and you don't. You don't need anything that creates sugar in your body, because your body can create sugar. There is absolutely no physiological or nutritional need for carbohydrates. They'll extend that to fiber, and I'm not so sure about that, because of the microbiome, which is another video. But see, don't worry. It gets complicated, but it really is easy. So the lie is eat less, exercise more. Just eat less and starve yourself. Will you lose weight? Lots of people have. Absolutely. Lots of people have. Did the weight stay off? I don't know. Probably not. When I say probably not, I mean we all have this story of the client that came in for a single hypnosis session. We told them to, eat less, exercise more in our metaphorical ways. And they loved us, lost all the weight, absolutely, and it stayed off. But the thing is you don't know. I mean, maybe the hypnosis helped them to get over a hump, but you don't know the lifestyle changes that they had to implement in their lives. And I can look at you bold-facedly and say I eat basically what I want, but I am aware of what I eat. It's a very different thing. I don't eat unaware. And so it calories calories only count in the idea that calories indicate an amount of food if you are an overeater. If you're not an if you're indiscriminate about what you eat and you're eating too much, calories mean something, but it's only a way of measuring and letting you know that you're eating too much. It's not really useful, like how many calories, if I get on this bicycle, how many calories am I going to burn? That's not, and we have known scientifically, by the way, for years, that if you, and what's the prescription? Go 3 times a week, do it for an hour or for 20 minutes 3 times a week. And we've known that this is wrong. People who go to a gym 3 times a week and do an intense workout. That means 4 days a week they don't go. They do an intense workout 3 days a week. All they really get is hungry. And that's why gyms have smoothie bars. Because when you finish that workout, boy, do you deserve a reward. You're going to get that smoothie, and they put a little extra protein powder in there, along with the half a gallon of sugar, fruit juice, and you know, and gosh golly, gee willikers, they want you to need them for the rest of your life. Just like those pharmaceutical companies want you to need insulin for the rest of your life, or Ozempic for the rest. And did I say that? Yes, I did. Because if you stop taking Ozempic, the weight comes. Enough said. We believed a lie. Eat less, exercise more. It doesn't work. There is, we probably will actually eat more. Our clients will probably actually eat more. If they have been chronic dieters, they will eat more. They probably will increase their protein and fat, decrease their carbohydrates, and they will move. We'll talk later about what exercise. I like to call it activity. I don't like to call it exercise because for a lot of obese people, exercise is just the most unpleasant thought on the planet. So let's call it something else, but everybody needs to and wants to move. So we'll call it activity or movement or something. Anyway, don't believe the lie. Calories in, calories out is a lie. You cannot exercise your way out of obesity. It's not how much you're eating, unless you're eating a huge amount. It's not how much you're eating, it's what you're eating and when. If you get nothing out of this conversation other than that, it's not about how much, it's about what you're eating and when you're eating. More accurately, how often. See you in the next video.